This is part 3 of your notes. Dividing whole numbers with an answer less than 1. Alright, so our problem is Naphtali brought a cake in for his birthday. He brought in 8 cakes to feed a class of 32 people. How much cake did each person get? So when we have an answer less than 1, we're going to first make sure that the first number or total goes inside the house or inside the box. Alright, so we have 8 cakes. So that's our dividend. And it says to draw place value lines, add zeros and a decimal, and divide. Continue adding zeros until you're left with 0 or have gone 2 decimal places. Alright, so 8 is our dividend. 32 is our divisor. So we are dividing 8 cakes between 32 people. So we see that 32 cannot go into 8. So in order to divide 32 into 8, we have to add a decimal and a 0. So now we have 80. Alright, we bring our decimal straight up and then we divide. So 32 goes into 80. Let's see. So 32, let's do times 4 first. Okay, that's too much. Let's do 2. Okay, let's try 3. Alright, so we're going to go with 2. Alright, so that's 64. Then we're going to subtract. That's 10. That's 7. So we get 16. So we keep adding zeros and bringing it down. So 32 into 160. Let's try 5. Okay, so 5 is 160. And we get 4. So our answer is 25 hundredths of a piece of cake. Alright. We can also divide when the remainder becomes a decimal. Alright, so let's look at our problem. Romy is able to run 18 miles in 110 minutes. How long did it take him to run each mile? So we're going to draw place value lines if you want to. Okay, you don't have to do this part. You divide normally. When you get to a remainder, you put in a decimal, add a 0, and continue dividing. Then you're going to divide until you're left with a 0 or have gone 2 extra places. Be sure your decimal's in the right place. So we got 110 miles divided by 18. Alright, so we need to know how many times 18 goes into 110. So let's try 5. Let's try 6. Alright, so 6 times, which is 108. We subtract, and we're left with 2. So we're going to add a decimal, bring it up to our quotient, and add a 0. So you can't add a decimal, you can't add a 0 without adding a decimal first. Then we're going to bring down our 0. Okay, so that's 1. That gives us 18. We're left with 2. We add another 0, bring it down, 20, and we get another 1. Okay, which is 18. So we see 20 is going to keep repeating. So our answer is going to be 6 and 11 hundredths. Because this 1 is going to keep repeating. Alright, so when we have an answer, 6 and 11 hundredths, we can put this little line over the 1 because that means that it's going to repeat. So no matter how many times we add a 0 and bring it down, we're still going to get a remainder of 2, and then we keep bringing our 0 down, so it's always going to be a 1 forever if we want it to keep going.